Welcome to another episode of Motivational Sundays with Kevin and Friends. This episode is brought to you by RMK Productions and the 10 United Podcast Network. Our mission is to uplift, inspire, share stories and experiences and perspectives using the framework of teaching, learning, and modeling. Our purpose is hope, helping other people every single day. We meet every Sunday here at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We bring our family and friends and someone drops a quote on the table. We, based on our interpretations and how it lands with us and our perceptions, we go ahead and we have conversations about this quote. Everyone participates, everyone is live. And today, our quote is brought to you by Barbara. And the quote is, "The most courageous act is still to think for yourself out loud." And this is Martin Luther King month we're celebrating. And Barbara, let's go ahead and talk about this quote.
Yes, I like it very much because it's by Coco Chanel, who had an amazing life story. She's a very inspiring lady for me. And she was never shy about speaking her mind and doing her own thing. And Coco Chanel is still a big name now, but she came like from a very hard past. She went to foster care basically, or like the father didn't have enough money and dropped her and her daughter. And so she was living in an orphanage really. And later on, she was dancing, where she got the name Coco from a song that she sang. It's not her real name, but it became her brand name. And she always stood up for herself. She always did her own thing. And that is just inspirational. And I think it's so important nowadays still that you not only speak your mind, but that you speak it aloud, because that is the big thing. And I think it also fits to MLK month because he also spoke his mind aloud. You know, he inspired people, he made people think, he made people be accountable.
Wow, that's good. It's amazing, and thank you for that share. Thank you for bringing the quote, how words empower people. They either build or they can destroy. Dr. Martin Luther King said, faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. So I appreciate you bringing that. Since Sherry is brand new to Motivational Sundays, we're gonna go ahead to the go-to guy, because we know this man always has some wisdom to drop on us, being so young, so beautiful, so positive. Ife, how does that land on you?
Man, it's an amazing quote, because it's a testament to being the person that you are, even despite what's going on in the world or people around you. A lot of people just want to go in the flow of things. They want to go with what their family or their friends or people around them want them to do or say, instead of saying, no, I'm going to think for myself. And I'm not afraid to be by myself with my thoughts, even if it goes against the grain of everything else. And then to tie in with Martin Luther King, who is a member of Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated too, by the way, he was able, in the face of everything going on, the trials, the tribulations, the persecutions, being frustrated and being jailed, he knew that his dream, his aspiration and goal for the civil rights movement and for those who considered him a leader had to go forward. And at a certain point in time, or even when he started, he knew that going down this road could be dangerous for himself and the people that came along with him. But he had the ability to think out loud, talk out loud, and be bold and brave despite everything that was going on at the time. So I really look at that quote and then look at what Martin Luther King had done and how it still reverberates today. And that's the leadership and fearlessness that I look up to.
Wow. Yeah. From the mouth of babes. That was powerful, young man. That was very powerful. And where will we all be without the sacrifice that the King family and Dr. Martin Luther King made for us? So, Naeem Garcia, today, Barbara has brought us a wonderful quote, very powerful quote. The most courageous act is still to think for yourself out loud.
Amen.
All right, show's yours.
Yeah. The most courageous thing is to think out loud. Yeah. Because if you don't voice your thoughts into existence, you stay suppressed. You stay suppressed and you won't have a chance to grow. Listening to what I heard about Martin Luther King and the risk he took in our behalf is a testament to that quote. And I don't know if I could top anything, but I could just add by saying your voice is the most important weapon you have. Your thoughts are the most sharper things you can throw at anyone. Because with those thoughts, you will grow. And those thoughts could grow for miles and miles and miles and generations to come. So good quote, Barbara, thumbs up. I just wanted to be a part of this today because I'm getting ready. I'm in lovely Newport, Rhode Island, looking at mansions and going to my class to teach. But I had to get a little something so I could inspire other students with that wonderful quote. That's excellent. That was a good quote to hear this morning. Thank you.
Yes, yes. And our family has grown. We have a first timer. We have Sherry Benjamin. So on here, she's a guest of the go-to guy. And Sherry, I'll repeat the quote for you. The most courageous act is still to think for yourself out loud. How does that land on you?
Thank you for letting me put my point in. Yes, my name is Sherry Ben, so I appreciate that. Well, for me personally, after these past 2 years, I've been calling it the pandemic, right? Where I have been planning and being connected to myself to figure out how can I help the world. So I definitely feel as though the quote is everlasting, because in this time, we all had the opportunity to figure out, to make pivots and figure out how can we make the world better. So it does take time to be to yourself, to be by yourself. And not all the time it's bad to be by yourself. And during this pandemic, it has been very empowering, so we can all figure out how can we help the collective? How can we raise the vibration of the collective? Because it's so important. It's needed. And, you know, whatever your spiritual beliefs are, there's definitely a war out here. And we all had to sit down and figure out what can we bring to the table for these past X amount of years that we have been accumulating all of this knowledge. What can we bring to the table to actually help the collective? So I completely appreciate this quote by Coco Chanel. And I have several quotes of Coco Chanel all throughout my apartment. So I appreciate it very much so, because it has us thinking, like, just like Martin Luther King, although I don't believe in a lot of things that he did personally for his personal life, but I do like how he stood as far as, you know, being standing for Black people and things like that. So I definitely love this quote. So thank you so much.
Well,
All right, welcome, newcomer.
yeah. Sherry, thank you for your quote and the fact that you have so many quotes surrounding you. There's a strong possibility you may be responsible for bringing the quote for next week. So I want to give you some thought on that. Let me speak. This month is a very powerful month. Next month is a more so powerful month because we are sharing Black History Month, which for some reason I'm Black 365 days a year. So I think we should be celebrating Black History Life, and we should be telling the truth. So when you talk about the most courageous act is still to think for yourself out loud, we have to look at the fact that Martin Luther King made the ultimate sacrifice for all of us. If he had not been the voice of the people, regardless of what his personal life and decisions make, none of us are perfect. So we need to quit holding people to a higher standard than we hold to ourselves. The freedom that we have today to be on this podcast, in order to share our personal experiences, our words, our own biases, and discover our own truths. We have to forego the stage to the man that gave us all our own personal mics, Dr. Martin Luther King. Dr. King said, when the time comes for one to take a position that is neither safe nor political nor popular, but he must take and be conscious and tell him or her what the right thing is to do. Your silence is an omission of your position, that you take no position. So it does not say that your guilt or your innocence. It's just your lack of participation in the process of change. So when I think about this quote, it justifies why I write, because I have a story to tell. It justifies the reason why we do this podcast each week, because we all have short stories to tell. And regardless of our interpretation and perceptions, we all have a right to be able to have our voice to be spoken out loud. So with that said, I want to thank my guest, and we're going to go one more time around with a little closing for those who are listening to us. And I'm going to start with the young lady, the young queen that brought the quote today, Miss Barbara. Just to our guests on a Sunday morning, give them a little something to take away from this.
I think you should all feel encouraged to stand up for yourself and to speak your truth every day, because like you said, everybody has different ways to express themselves. Some write amazing books like yourself, some go to podcasts or have podcasts, but everybody in their own world, their immediate world, should be brave enough to speak out for themselves. Because like you said, if you don't speak, people can speak for you, or put things in your mouth, and that would not happen if you speak out loud.
Naheem Garcia, our thespian.
Yeah, I got to run in the class, but thank you for this enlightenment. I've discovered that it's our responsibility to not just focus on our people, but all people. The human race is a necessity. The human race gets extinct. What we know today will no longer exist. So continue teaching, continue fighting, keep your sword sharp. I love you. God love you. I love you too. Peace.
All right, peace. Gone to class. And Miss Sherry, I'm a Southern boy. So just want to make sure that the ladies, our queens, gets their recognition first. What do you want to leave our listeners with?
I truly believe in always speaking the truth, no matter what. Maybe it's because I'm a Sagittarius. Maybe it's because, my parents raised me to say to always speak the truth, no matter what. So, and that's definitely what I stand by, no matter who feelings it hurts, no matter how anyone feels about it, I always speak the truth, because the most important thing you should do is question everything. So that's basically all I have to say.
And that supports the quote, fellow Sagittarian. December 10th is my day and my gift to this world. So you got to be close to there. Happy belated birthday. The go-to guy, save the best for last. Way to go, little brother. Let's see what you got. Leave him with something.
Okay. I think all too often we see trends happen in the world, or people are doing something to gain attention to themselves. Before we hop into any situation or we decide to involve ourselves, we have to ask, is this really who I am? Does this represent who I am looking to become? A lot of people do groupthink, and it's okay to think in a group if that's exactly where you want to be or know you should be. But then at the same time, it's great to think for self. It is great to be alone with your thoughts and be able to not just think, but to plan out your course of action. He that fails to plan plans to fail. So in today's day and age, one that has a plan one who is thoughtful, one who is intentional, one that moves with purpose will get to the goal way quicker and with more efficiency and more impact than one that just decides to go with the current and waves and has no idea why they're there or what they're there for. So our thoughts have power. Our reality was once somebody's wildest dreams that they were courageous enough to make happen. So let's always believe in the power of our thoughts and always know how to control ourselves so that we can get to the acquired or to the desired goal. Thank you.
Wow. You know, I got to start pulling you up first because it's so hard to follow you, the go-to guy. Look at that $1 million smile. I just want to thank everyone for coming in and sharing this space. You know, we meet every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We start on time. This is brought to you by RMK Productions, and you can find an episode of this on Spotify on Talking with Kevin and Son, or go to RMK Productions and Network and join our group and subscribe. This is posted every single week. And remember, education is not designed to make you comfortable. It is designed to make you think. I hope everyone enjoyed this episode. Adapt this hashtag. Find 1,000 reasons to be kind to someone. As my grandfather used to always say, when you get to a position to help someone else, it is your duty to do so. Reach one and teach one. And I'm going to leave you one more thing, a quote by Dr. Martin Luther King. Let no man or woman pull you down so low to hate him. And now we're Fade to Black and we're out.